Haven't started the recording.
Okay.
It's my bad. Bailey, we're doing roll. I'm gonna do this one more time just for the recording. Terry Howard.
Here.
Andrew Lowry.
Here.
Jonathan Schaefer.
Here.
Josh Baker.
Here.
Bailey Wineland.
Here.
Thank you. Absent is Mayor Colm and Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Okay, we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to take a look at the agenda, and do we have a motion to approve it?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, motion passed. Staff reports. Mayor's not here. Do we have any comments from the Board of Trustees? Okay. Ruth, you have anything for us?
She's not on yet. She's having a hard time.
Oh, all
getting on.
right, well, we'll go back there then. Kim, what do you have for us?
I don't have much. We are experiencing some problems down here along the main thoroughfare with ice, as is the rest of the town. I just want to make sure that this is put out there and that the board is aware of it. We've had a lot of complaints from citizens regarding the south curb line, where CDOT piled all that the snow up down the middle of the highway. Over the couple days that it was there, it got high enough where you couldn't see the cars passing on the other lanes. And it got warm a couple days, it started to melt, the road slopes this way. It melted that way, creates about a 12-inch deep ice from the top of this hill all the way down past Debbie's office and the bar. The restaurants are very concerned with the ice outside their restaurants, and the citizens or the people trying to patron their business. Understandably, it is a CDOT issue. There's really not much the town can do about it. Not because we don't want to address it. It's just we don't have the resources to. We had 3 nights that I had the snowplow guy out here with an axe, breaking it up, trying to remove it. I was out there with him laying down salt. But the temperature plays a lot in whether that's effective or not. So we've been in touch with CDOT. CDOT came out and filed the snow. We've gotten no response as to how they're going to deal with the ice along there. It's so thick now that there's really nothing that we can do to rid ourselves of it. So I know that the mayor particularly has been getting calls on his personal cell phone from residents about it. But that's just kind of where we're at with it right now. CDOT's very understaffed like everybody else is. The one guy that was assigned here to Kiowa has been moved to the mountains for a couple months, and the people that are here are flow over from Franktown when CDOT can afford to send them up here. They are who came plow the snow out of the middle of the highway after Rick and I threw a fit.
This has been an ongoing issue
I'm
for years.
understanding that now.
Yeah. There was some resolution at one point that we thought if we did something with the curbs, but we can't do that. That's, I don't know. CDOT said no, they couldn't do it. We were supposed to do it. And there's been nothing resolved with it. So
Yeah. It's
I'm
good.
not sure what to say on that.
Well, in all sincerity, it is a safety issue.
Mhm.
And if CDOT's not able to resolve it, we don't have the capability of resolving it. I suggested the only other option is to block parking on that side of the roadway until we're done with the snow and we're done with the ice. If it's gonna be that big of a safety issue for people patronizing those businesses, they will have to park on the other side of the road where that's not a problem for them.
They still have to walk through it at that point.
They would, or over it.
That's the sad part, this is not.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Deb.
So if the town can't take care of it, can we take care of it ourselves?
We have suggested that numerous times to.
Well, I
people.
will tell you, I mean, I can tell, because I didn't get down to mine in time and it got packed.
Mhm.
And the people who take care of the nets do an amazing job. Their sidewalks are always clear,
Are they
but they're gonna
hired?
kill themselves
Yeah.
to get to the
Sure.
net sidewalk.
Mhm.
So, you know, if we can take care of it ourselves, we would do it, but we're not gonna, we've been told before that we can't do that.
Who told you that?
Previous staff, and I've actually even had the police department from Kiowa show up and threatened to take me to jail for it, so. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
This is I think, we've kind of resolved that. There was a comment made about, well, you're not on the town's insurance, therefore you can't run your truck backwards and drill out the ice. So we did I want to say 2-3 years ago, we did put each of the business owners' names on it so that we could do that. So if you guys want to agree that that's a thing, then I will have my guy come out and take care of whoever wants it, and we'll all split the bill. But we can't have the ice skate in front of Patty Ann's. That is not a thing. And parking across the street does nothing, because you got people with walkers and wheelchairs coming across 86 to bless our business, and I can't have them falling down in the middle of 86 trying to get to us.
Right.
So do any of the board members have an issue if they take care of it themselves? As long as there's not any legality.
I haven't,
What,
I don't perceive it as citizens working for the town of Kiowa because they're cleaning up in front of their.
their business.
I don't either.
Yeah.
It's their
know
business.
where
Was a question of proximity of where we would be cleaning. We would be cleaning in that parking area, curb area, and that is considered town, not CDOT. I don't know, I'm just regurgitating from 3 years ago.
So we worked with Maria on this a while back.
Okay,
As I remember, she did some digging and worked with CDOT. And CDOT told her that the stormwater was the town's responsibility and this faulty stormwaters.
Okay.
And
and that's one of the things we've addressed with CDOT is stormwater issues that they've not addressed.
So this is actually something that, keeps coming back to the damn developers agreement, but that $50,000 stormwater fee
Uh-huh.
was to fix this problem for Maria, because she thought it was roughly a $25,000 to $50,000 fix to get the stormwater
Correct.
replaced of 86.
Well, that makes more sense now. I was not aware of that. Okay. Well,
And then I'm down with it.
we actually have a meeting with CDOT tomorrow that was called by CDOT with regard to money that they are contemplating splitting between us and Elizabeth. I don't know if that's still the case. We've got a hold of some other people with CDOT that are higher up than the ones we've been speaking to in the Lyman residency. And a previous director of CDOT we've contacted them and they've agreed to open some communications there for us with them. And the next thing I know, after having that conversation with him, CDOT's sending us an email saying they're very excited to share some good news with us, but they wouldn't divulge what that is. So I don't know what that's pertaining to. I'll find out more tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, there's
That would
many
be
things on
nice.
our list, and the storm drainage is one of them, restriping of the highway, refinishing the highway, the bridge, the school crossing up here. And there's numerous items that need to be addressed by CDOT. And Kiowa's just kind of been left out here in the Eastern Plains like little stepchild and forgotten. And I mean, they literally have admitted that. They really only come out here. They have no idea. They didn't even know where we are at. So they have only come out here when somebody complains about
Yeah.
something. So we'll
So,
see how the meeting goes.
Well, we'll see where that goes from there, but until then. Debbie, Annette, are you guys all okay with saying that the town's not gonna give you any repercussions if you decide to clean it up yourself,
I'm good with that.
okay?
Isn't something needs.
Are you
It would
okay with?
be. It's gonna be a hefty bill. I'll have to get a quote on it, Debbie. We can touch base on that. And who else wants it down that line? I think the businesses further up the hill is not bad. It's always from us to the bar
Well, and
where
I
it sits.
on it.
Erica is really bad right now, up in front of Echo. I don't know if you've seen in front of Echo, but it's like a
Shade from that
skating
tree.
rink.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I
the-
think when the town came through, it kind of made it worse because we put a lot of the ice back onto the sidewalks and then that eventually melted and went back into the gully. So we're kind of fighting the, do we clean or do we not clean?
That's interesting, because the night that I was laying down salt, I salted all the steps and the sidewalks for all the businesses down along there, as well as the curb line. So I don't know why it's over on the sidewalks now as ice.
Yeah, it came back up. I'm not sure when it was done, but it came back up on the sidewalks and then, of course, eventually that melts down onto the road. And it is what it is. I mean, we deal with this every year. This is not new for anybody. It's always the point of contention. Does the town have the equipment and can they clean that soon enough? Or do then the businesses have the financial impact of breaking up all that ice and removing it after the fact? So it's fine. I'm fine to do, or at least get a bid before we do it. And I'll let the businesses on our end know. I can touch base with Echo and see if they're interested in doing the same thing and whether my guy has the time to do that whole strip. I don't know.
Is the backhoe still down for the town?
I was gonna say, it seems like we used to,
We
used to use
did.
the grader.
I would be happy to rent equipment.
I mean,
We did used to use the backhoe to go break it.
oh, I thought they used the motor grader.
They've used it too. Yeah.
And would the town supply them a rolling lane closure?
Okay, so Kat was out here last week. They had to remove that other pin from that arm. And prior to that, Trevor, that same night, Trevor went over there. I gave him a cat key. He went over there and tried to start it. It would not start. When Kat was out here working on it, they found the battery cables extremely corroded where you couldn't see it because we aren't cat people, but they had expanded underneath the rubber sheath. And cause those to go bad. So when I was over there with a cat guy the other day, because of that, both batteries were bad and it needed a new cable. Mendez just took that cable out of the back of my car today and I purchased the 2 new batteries last week. So I did not know that cable was in the back of my car until late this afternoon when I was told by the person that put it there. So Mendez has that. He's going to address that on Thursday. So that should be back up and running on Thursday should this happen again. But we did attempt to use that the other night and Trevor could not get it started and that's why. So we may have the backhoe available to us after Thursday. I don't know if that will do any good now with the extent of ice that we have. It's very deep, it's very thick. So I don't know, but I could talk to Trevor or you know how to operate it. So maybe you would be able to attempt to break it up. I don't know.
Happy to go down and drive through something.
Okay, please don't want to be a business. So.
Okay,
We
So,
should do something about it because it happens every year. So we should have an agreement somewhere. Yes, the businesses can get together and pay a private person to come and do it, but we still need the town to block off traffic and all that good stuff. So if we can figure out a way to work together with the equipment we have and the people that we have in the town to help, that's a better solution than paying some third party to come who really has no stake in the game. Know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah,
Amen.
okay,
and we don't have a problem blocking it off. We have the capability of doing that. So we could work together if it comes to that and that.
okay.
Update on grants is no different than the one I gave Kiowa Water and Wastewater. Let me start, let's see. We had applied for one for Kiowa Water and Wastewater for the water well, it was kicked back. due to trying to figure out the entity organization or the legality of the entities, who should be applying for it. So that is on the back burner right now until we get some clarification from DOLA tomorrow. And we can refile the first cycle in 2023, which starts March 1st and closes April 1st. I have been in contact with the energy department for the state. I was turned on to them by our grant writer for coming out and assessing our facilities to include water. I forgot to say that, to include water and wastewater facilities. They assess the they do a whole audit of all of the facilities regarding the town, and they look for deficiencies that need to be brought up to code or brought up bring up to date. And they assign a contracting company such as Honeywell or something like that's registered with them. They work as our main contractors. We have the capability of hiring our own subcontractors that work under the direction of Honeywell to complete the work. It's a long drawn out process. I think it would warrant a work session if we ended up going that way so that we can give all the information to you, completely understand the process. I have put our names for Kiowa Water, Wastewater, and the town in their system. So we are now recognized by the state energy department as an entity that's interested in their services. If we decide to go this route, there is actually no cost to Kiowa Water and Wastewater or the town, as long as we utilize the money that's given to us to complete all of the work that they have found wrong. I don't know if wrong is the right word. Anyway, I think it would warrant us doing a work session so that possibly the lady with the state, she's offered to do that, come in and speak to all of you and let you know how the program works, what they're capable of doing and what that means for us. So I would ask that we try to set that up with her and get more information.
Would it be too much to ask if we could include that? With the work session, we've already got scheduled for the February 5th.
No, it's February 7th, and we're not
7th.
doing that now because we have an attorney that is not going to be able to make it. So Ruth and I are talking about when we can reschedule that,
Okay,
because I really would like Ms. Rutt's there
okay,
for that work session.
okay.
So we'll work
So-
on another date. I need to get with this lady from the state, so to see if she's actually available to do it. When she's available to do it.
Okay. And you can let us know on that,
Yeah.
because yeah, I think that, do you guys agree? I think that's something we should pursue.
Yep.
That would help us clear up some of the deficiencies in this building. It's really focused on things like the windows and the
All the
bills
stuff
that we're
we
getting
need.
from heating and electric and reducing those considerably for us. And,
Okay.
you know, put money back in everybody's pocket, so.
Yeah, let's see.
The
what we can
heating
get
bills
set
have
up
gotten
then.
absolutely outrageous.
Oh, yeah, I know mine personally have too. I'm sure everyone in this room has.
Yeah. I have nothing for Public Works.
Okay,
Mendes has been gone for a couple weeks. He's just trying to get back in the swing of things today, so he's getting caught up. And code enforcement. I do not have a report from her until March. She does it quarterly.
March, okay. Okay. Consent items, approval of the minutes from December 22 board meeting and the January 5th special meeting. Has everybody had a chance to take a look at those?
Yep.
And Kim, I have a correction on the special meeting minutes under new business. B, where we elected the mayor pro tem. I didn't make that motion, Jonathan did. And you've got me as making it.
Okay, let me correct those then.
I didn't notice anything else.
Okay. Jonathan made the motion and
Yeah,
Andy
that's all.
seconded it. Okay.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve them with the amendment.
Yeah.
Or revision.
do I have a motion? To approve the December minutes and the January 5th special meeting with the amendment,
Yeah, so moved.
okay?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Kim,
Your financials look really sad right now. That's because it's the beginning of the year. It's only 19 days in,
yeah.
or 9 days in. I'm so sorry. You
Yeah.
have no revenue that's come in for the first 9 days, so. But it will reflect what I have just paid out at the beginning of the year. We made our insurance payments. We did get our cigarette distribution tax revenue of $154.
Oh, boy.
Better than poking then.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that first figure and I thought, what's Kim doing? But I realized that
yeah.
it's only the 10th of the month, so.
Always hate the first one.
Does anybody have any questions for Kim on that? Okay, moving on. Do we have any public comments?
Tell you, the only thing that I would say is that, you know what, I went to show property in Castle Rock and I will tell you, our side streets are way better. So anybody that's griping and complaining, or even our county roads that they're griping and complaining about, go drive through Parker and Castle Rock and try and get through their side streets.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I just think that's really important that everybody realize that, so. Our guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on to new business. Did everybody take a look at the resolutions that were sent to us?
Briefly.
If you want to take a minute to kind of glance through them again.
So we, when we passed our budget, KWWA had not finalized theirs. So the figures that we had in our budget for KWWA were not accurate. So what we're doing is updating our budget with the accurate numbers from KWWA. So that I can resubmit them as amended to the state.
Right.
That's the only thing that has changed.
Okay,
And then your other resolution is a standard one that we have to do with the first meeting of every year that establishes our posting location. With regard to meetings. And such.
do we need motions on those
You
or?
do, to pass
Okay.
those resolutions.
Okay. Do I have a motion on passing resolution 1, series 2023 to amend the 2023 final budget?
Yeah, so moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay, we already have our. Before we post out front for the meetings. Do I have a motion on resolution 2? Series 2023.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
do we have any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. CML Annual Conference 2023 Scholarship Application.
This was the same as the one we submitted last year that was denied.
right,
This is actually a challenge put forth by our grant writer, because she's very unhappy with the fact that they denied us that scholarship last year.
okay,
We're a small disadvantaged municipality, and that's what that scholarship was created for. And she feels that we should apply for it again, and if denied again, then there it needs to be addressed with CML as to what their reasons are for denying it, other than we only have 10 available and we gave them away to 10 other people or 10 other municipalities. So I have talked to Rick, and I've suggested that Rick participate this year with us as our mayor. He go and represent the town of Kiowa along with myself. And I've let them know that the mayor does intend on attending, and that we are committed to being a part of Colorado Municipal League and would like to be acknowledged as such. So we are applying again for a scholarship to attend their conference this year in June, which is being held in Aurora. And they need a letter from the board. Rick will be signing this letter from the entire board, recommending that, allowing me to apply for the scholarship to attend it this year. So that's the purpose of that letter.
What does it run without the scholarship?
I
Just-
think last year we paid to go last year, and I think the cost was approximately $500.
That's a Sunday through Wednesday?
It is June 25th through the 28th.
Hmm.
I haven't looked at those dates, but that's the dates on their website is when they planned it this year.
okay.
It's almost the same time as the Cowboy Up.
It's always in June, and the day I came back from it last year was the day that Cowboy Up had their rodeo here, yeah. So I didn't make it. Well, I did make it. We came in, I got Dale, and we went that night, I think, if I remember right.
We tried that Saturday.
Okay,
It seems like last year was the week before, and this week it's shaping up to be the week
the
after.
week after, okay. I know it did almost conflict there this year, or last year when I went, but yeah.
Well, I think you should submit the application again.
It was a wealth of information last year. I learned a lot of things. Their sessions, you can pick your own sessions, and I picked sessions that were already issues that we were having. We were having issues with infrastructure for water at the time. So I joined a session that for the CDPHE, where we learned about programs where we can get on a list with CDPHE, and if our infrastructure goes down, it puts us on a list with other entities or other municipalities that are also signed up for it, and we can put the word out, okay, our well went down. Well, we have a pump or a motor over here, we can let you borrow ours, which is much cheaper than trying to rent one somewhere else or trying to pay the outrageous cost of getting one expedited. And then there were a lot of sessions geared toward land use, geared toward budgeting. Some of them I ended up in, didn't realize they weren't necessarily geared toward my position, they were geared more toward a bond attorney
Oh.
or things, but they were very informative. I learned, we had been talking about a lease back program for this building, to get some of the work done on it. And I learned a lot about that process I didn't previously understand. So it was a very informative conference. It was great to network with other municipalities and learn that we really, our issues are not just our issues. There are a lot of other municipalities going to do the same thing. So.
I've never attended one of these, but the state usually puts on some pretty good conferences. I've been to several that highway traffic safety puts
Yeah.
on, and they're very informative, and you get a lot of networking done with other people. So yes, I think it's a very good idea. Everybody agree with that she should apply?
Yes.
Okay. Have Rick sign the letter then.
Do we need a vote for that, Ruth? Ruth,
A motion doesn't hurt.
All right, well. Do
'cause I
we
think
have
we
a
did a
motion
motion
then?
last year.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now have Rick sign that letter.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, 2023 Cowboy Up sponsorship. You've got a letter in your packet for all the info. Kim, refresh my memory. What did we do last year? Which one did we do?
So last year, we broke away from sponsoring one event and we did a bucking shoot overhead. And we did a couple gators.
I remember the Gators, okay.
And it looks like it's about the same price as what we paid last year if we go with the same option.
Okay.
They have not, they're just in the beginning stages of this, so if you choose to do another option, you can, just know that we set $3,000 aside in our budget to encompass everybody that we choose to help sponsor this year,
Okay,
not just Cowboy Up.
that's everybody. Gotcha. Okay.
Last year, we helped the museum, we helped Cowboy Up. We helped the school. I'm trying to remember them all.
Did you do the bucking futurity?
We did the bucking futurity. Yes, ma'am. So,
Okay. So you suggest I think it was good what we did last year.
I think it was great what we did last year.
Yeah.
We were right up there with Craft Company sign, over those shoots. So.
Okay, so. Bucking shoot overhead.
Bucking shoot overhead, and
a
then we
couple of the
did two
Gators.
gators, and I just need to let them know what events we want to do gators for. And for those that are not familiar with it, gators it's $100 prize for any of the for the open, or it's $200 for open and mixed team roping. We did the $100 per event, and that $100 goes toward a winner. Oh, how do they term that? Tasha?
Event winner.
The event
Yeah,
winner.
that's
for
what I
those.
thought. Yeah.
It's just an extra $100 over and above what they've already won.
Okay.
First, everyone.
It's a bonus for them and they get to ride with the mayor in their gator around
Okay.
arena.
With his shorts. and-
With his shorts.
and his Crocs.
Did he wear cowboy boots with his shorts on?
He actually bought jeans last year. I told him, I said, do not show up in shorts to a rodeo event. And he did, he bought jeans.
He had to go buy him though.
Yes, he did. So he has a
Okay.
pair this year.
So, which Gators did we do last year? Do you remember? Or do we have a preference? What do we want to do? Bull riding, saddle bronc, barrel racing?
Yeah, they're usually for the hard stock. I think we did. I don't remember.
I can't
I
remember.
don't remember. I know one was bareback, I believe.
I kind of think the last one we did was the last one she had an opening for
Mhm.
too.
Oh,
Yeah, because we
okay.
came in late in the process last year,
Right.
so we kind of just got what they had left open and didn't have
Okay.
anybody for yet. We did this much later in the process last year.
So any suggestion from the board, what we should do?
I personally don't have a preference.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll let you pick them, Kim.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. I'll work with Cowboy Up and see what they have.
See what's
I always like to do what they have a hard time filling,
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah, that works.
I'll talk to her about that if you like. So
Okay, so do we have a motion to sponsor the bucking shoot overhead and 2 of the Gators?
you bet. So moved.
Okay,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Yeah, you're right. It looks like the cowboy up is 23 and 24, then your CML is
Yeah,
25 to 28.
yeah, so it's the next weekend, that'll be good.
Mhm.
Okay.
I won't have to race that.
Okay, next, our policies, and I assume these are the policies that we are putting in what we've been voting on the past few months
Yes.
to get all of this in order.
For those that are just joining us on the board. Up until now, we have never had a policy and procedure manual in the town of Kiowa. There's
what?
never been any policies or procedures formally put into place.
Yeah.
So for the last several months, we've been going through and instituting some policies for the town. It kind of adds integrity and transparency to our actions here. So
And certainty.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So this month, the theme is vehicles and travel. I do a certain section every month, and these are the 4 policies we have with vehicles and travel. It's regarding if we ever, and I understand that right now we don't have a town vehicle. But at any time, if we have the public works vehicle, but meaning if you read this, we do not have a town-owned vehicle that is shared for board members to use for transportation to events or to functions. Tosh and I don't have a vehicle to share at this time, but if at any time in the future we acquire a town vehicle to be used in that manner, then there are policies in place that would regulate that use of those vehicles. And that's what these policies are geared toward.
Better to have it in place than not have it and something happen.
So there's vehicles operated by the board or mayoral appointees. The next one is travel and meeting expenses. So when we go to our conferences, these policies would be applicable to us as far as how we utilize the town credit cards, buy meals.
Yeah, and this first one about vehicles, that would also cover equipment too, correct?
Yes.
Because equipment is a vehicle,
Equipment is a vehicle.
therefore the volunteer board members can help with snow and ice and be covered, right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
I think you're getting volunteered for stuff here, Josh.
Josh will learn,
Sad part is everybody knows I'll just show up.
but we love you
I
for it.
will gripe the entire time, but I will appear.
And I think we can do all of these in a bulk like we've done in the past. I'll entertain a motion for policy 22-028 through policy 22-031. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Old business. Do we have any old business we need to discuss?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
We also don't have any correspondence. I'm not sure why that was left off the agenda, but we have any correspondence to discuss.
okay. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn at 7:46 PM.
Josh, you seconded that?
Yes.
You seconded adjourning.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you voted.
Yeah,
on
pretty much.
tonight, John.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you, guys.
Pleasure to serve.